What it do, what it do, what it do. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon, that notification bell that alert you all content that I drop that would hit YouTube. So it's very important. Y'all want the exclusive, you want to drop, you want all the content. You don't want to miss nothing that S.L.R drops. Make sure you hit that bell icon. You will get all exclusive content for sure. First drop, you will hit your devices. You can get. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the AKA the like button. You're looking for the thumbs up is at the upper top right hand side, the three dots. Hit the three dots, you will see the like button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I need everybody to go double back and spin the block. Go spin the block. Go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. All helps my channel grow, get more viewers, more subscribers, pushes my YouTube channel further into the YouTube algorithm. So it's very important that y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, comment button. It helps both of my channels grow, get more viewers, more subscribers, push it further to the YouTube algorithm for my channel to get noticed. You like the content, you like what I do, make sure you hit the cash out $ SRED40. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. We on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Let's go. We in the building. Let's go get this 5,000 and let's go get the 1,000 subscribers on my second YouTube channel. Continue to support the channel and the hard work effort that I put in. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. You see the title. We in the building. We in the building. Cologne was good. Cologne say, yo, we here. Let's get it. You know what we do. In Shedeur Sanders, we trust perfect timing. You know what we do. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into the content. Roll the footage. You know how I like to do. Hit them with the intro. Let's get it. Mm.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
gonna say, yo, WWE was doing bad. Saturday Night Main Event was garbage. It was alright. I wouldn't say it was garbage. It was alright. It was, put it like this. This was a better Saturday Night Main Event than the past couple ones that Triple H has done put up. So I wouldn't say this was the best. I wouldn't say it was garbage. It was watchable.
Watch your back, Shedeur. Gotta watch your back. 'Cause this right here, yeah, it's hella whack. Authorities caught 3 people connected to the break-in at Shedeur's home, and a 4th is still out there hiding alone. Now look, robberies happen. We all know that's a fact, but this one doesn't feel random like that. How you drive all the way from Atlanta to Cleveland, check into a hotel the night before the Browns game, then pull up right when the family's gone. That's so lame. That ain't coincidence. That's coordination, inside job, or loose information. Too many people knowing, too many people seeing too much. Whatever it was, this wasn't just bad luck. This happened while Shedeur was playing his first NFL game. Out there living his dream, while somebody's at home stealing the change. That's sick. That's predatory. That's someone watching, waiting, planning. Means you gotta watch the circle too, 'cause somebody's scamming. We love when Bucky, Shiloh, and the family post behind the scenes from his home. But maybe not so much moving forward, or all his shit will be gone. At some point, that content becomes a blueprint, and the internet don't just watch. Sometimes it plots. Be skeptical of everyone, not just the thoughts. When the lights get brighter, the vultures get closer. Watch your back, Shedeur. Not everybody clapping is rooting for you and yours.
Watch your back, Shedeur. You one of the most hated quarterbacks in the league. You know they're gonna try to do everything. You understand what I'm saying, Shedeur? That's why it's all about perfect timing. Once you get that big contract, you better get security. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to hire Uber Femi, you know what I'm saying, to be your security, Shedeur. So, Shinsuke's always losing. Yeah, nobody care about Shinsuke. He's been buried. Yeah, he's been buried since Jinder Mahal buried him so many times. Like Finn, yeah, Finn got buried by Vince McMahon. Triple H just carried on the buriedness. You know, if they made Drew lose the Rumble, he's going to be laughing. Drew is not losing at the Rumble. Matter of fact, Drew will be carrying the belt into WrestleMania. You'll have a 3-way match between him and Cody and Jacob Fatu, most likely. You know, I got inside track, inside story.
Remember Dan Lanning? Yeah, that guy. The Oregon coach who got real chatty about Dion and Shedeur on the mic.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. Right? This game ain't gonna be played in Hollywood, it's gonna be played on the grass.
Real tough talk. Then Indiana put belt to ass. Yep, Indiana buried you. That's no lie. It's always satisfying to see a bully get punched in the eye. All that preaching, all that posturing, just to get cooked by a team that wasn't even supposed to move you. And now your former player, Dylan Gabriel, talking just like you too. Entertainers versus competitors. Yeah, we hear you trying to sound cool. A whole lot of arrogant talk just to finish the season as QB2. Big talk, small proof. Dan Lanning got no championships, no signature wins, no moment that made the sport bend, but somehow found time to take aim at the Sanders name, hoping their spotlight might brighten his lane. That's the irony, because Dion and Shedeur never had to trash anyone to shine. No cosplay toughness, just grind. They showed up, changed a city, and made Colorado football matter again, and did it while looking oh so pretty. So don't come over here preaching substance over flash. We promise you one thing: the Sanders will pass. And if you happen to slip and talk that substance over flash stuff, make sure it's your resume that can actually back it up.
Shedeur Sanders is the Montez Ford of the NFL. You just got to show him. You just got to give him that shot, that perfect timing. It's just all it is to it. Shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, he will be a top 5 quarterback for sure. What he say? He said, "Damn, a 3-way at Manny again." Yeah, you gonna get a 3-way, 4-way at Manny. You got a lot of wrestlers you got to fit in on that card. So when you got a 4-hour pay-per-view, 2 nights, you're gonna get a lot of 3-4 ways. It's just typical wrestling. That's how it goes. Because I remember in Saudi, so most likely they might give it to Sammy. They ain't giving Sammy nothing. Sammy is there to fill the seats. We're not worrying about Sami Zayn ever winning the WWE Championship. Nobody wants to see somebody that looks like Sami Zayn with the belt around their waist. He is only reclusive and exclusive to mid-card. He's a jobber and will always be a jobber. Everything's fucked now because if Sammy loses, they gonna be mad. Who's gonna be mad? Ain't nobody gonna be mad. Sammy always been a loser. Ain't nobody gonna be mad. And if Sami Zayn ever wins the WWE Championship, he will always be a transitional champion. So guys like him, we don't worry about. LOL, same jobs to Sami Zayn. LOL, bomb Sami Zayn. Yeah, he's most definitely, like Trick say, he comes up short. Yep. And like I said, whenever that time does happen, I ain't never say never. It may happen. He will be a transitional champion. No more, no less. So his championship reign won't even be memorable, even to be thought about.
Kevin Stefanski got fired and no one is sad, but damn, the media sure is mad. Stevie Wonder saw that coming. The offense was cooked, expired, but somehow the press is scrambling to get this man rehired. And I mean scrambling, like they about to lose some M's gambling. From Colin Cowherd to every media nerd, they're ignoring his losing record like forget what you heard. I keep hearing, he's great, and I'm like, wait. I hate to say it, but there's no confusion. This feels like more anti-Shedeur collusion. Because let's talk facts. Stefanski didn't develop a single quarterback. In fact, the ones called great. Under his watch, they stopped playing that way. Now every analyst is screaming, Stefanski would be great for Jackson Dart. Oh, really? You mean the quarterback he passed on from the start? He could have drafted Dart, but he was all in on Dylan Gabriel. Funny how they skip that part when they're telling these fables. Then they hit us with the classic lie. He coached the Browns to a playoff win. Did he though? Because last I checked, that was the game he watched from his couch with COVID. But don't let facts get in the way of a narrative. Stefanski didn't get fired for bad luck. He got fired because he misread talent, mismanaged quarterbacks, and wasted time. And here's the kicker. The same media that gifted him Coach of the Year wins is the same media trying to do resume spins. So call it out when you see it, because this man does not deserve a comeback tour. Not after how he treated Shedeur.
Kevin Stefanski was the Triple H for the Cleveland Browns. He just not gonna get a star. The Rocket Badge. Nah. Nah, 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 nah. Kevin Stefanski don't believe in black quarterbacks. How in the hell Kevin Stefanski gonna make it in Atlanta? Yeah. HBC Capital. Huh. HBCU Capital. How Kevin Stefanski? Nah. Roman Reigns coming back at the Rumble. Yeah, Roman's coming back at the Rumble, and Roman's not gonna win the Rumble. I would be shocked, but you can put your money on um on Roman, and I most definitely will be going live. So spread Cologne, let everybody know, tell everybody tap in, tell everybody get the wallets ready, tell everybody to hit the Cash App, tell everybody to support the channel. We will be going live Saturday. Matter of fact, when is it? Saturday, 2 p.m. We will be going live for the Royal Rumble. So yeah, go ahead and get you some sleep. Put your alarm clock at 1. Get yourself ready. Get you some popcorn. Do whatever you got to do. 1 o'clock in the morning, yes. The Royal Rumble will be on at 2 o'clock in the morning. We will be going live. Or they may be doing it like 2 in the afternoon. I got to find out. Anyway it goes, we will be going live for the Royal Rumble. For sure. For sure. What is that?
Kevin Stefanski got fired and no one is sad. But damn, the media sure is mad. Stevie Wonder saw that coming. The offense was cooked, expired. But somehow the press is scrambling to get this man rehired. And I mean scrambling. Watch your back, Shedeur. Gotta watch your back. 'Cause this right here, yeah, it's hella whack. Authorities caught 3 people connected to the break-in at Shedeur's home, and a 4th is still out there hiding alone. Now look, robberies happen. We all know that's a fact, but this one doesn't feel random like that. How you drive all the way from Atlanta to Cleveland, check into a hotel the night before the Browns game, then pull up right when the family's gone. That's so lame. That ain't coincidence. That's coordination, inside job, or loose information. Too many people knowing, too many people seeing too much. Whatever it was, this wasn't just bad luck. This happened while Shedeur was playing his first NFL game. Out there living his dream, while somebody's at home stealing the change. That's sick. That's predatory. That's someone watching, waiting, planning. Means you gotta watch the circle too, 'cause somebody's scamming. We love when Bucky, Shiloh, and the family post behind the scenes from his home. But maybe not so much moving forward, or all his shit will be gone. At some point, that content becomes a blueprint. And the internet don't just watch. Sometimes it plots. Be skeptical of everyone, not just the thoughts. When the lights get brighter, the vultures get closer. watch your back, Shedeur. Not everybody clapping is rooting for you and yours.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
Remember Dan Lanning? Yeah, that guy. The Oregon coach who got real chatty about Dion and Shedeur on the mic.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. Right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass.
Real tough talk. Then Indiana put belt to ass. Yup, Indiana buried you. That's no lie. It's always satisfying to see a bully get punched in the eye. All that preaching, all that posturing, just to get cooked by a team that wasn't even supposed to move you. And now your former player, Dylan Gabriel, talking just like you too. Entertainers versus competitors. Yeah, we hear you trying to sound cool. A whole lot of arrogant talk just to finish the season as QB2. Big talk, small proof. Dan Lanning got no championships, no signature wins, no moment that made the sport bend, but somehow found time to take aim at the Sanders name, hoping their spotlight might brighten his lane. That's the irony, because Dion and Shedeur never had to trash anyone to shine. No cosplay toughness, just grind. They showed up, changed a city, and made Colorado football matter again, and did it while looking oh so pretty. So don't come over here preaching substance over flash. We promise you one thing: the Sanders will pass. And if you happen to slip and talk that substance over flash stuff, make sure it's your resume that can actually back it up. Don't mind us. We're just over here pouring out a little something for a few coaches. Mike Tomlin, Brian Daboll, Pete Carroll, and yes, Kevin Stefanski. You know what they all have in common? They all tried to play games with Shedeur, and now they're all out the door. Now honestly, we don't have any real smoke for Pete Carroll or Tomlin. They put their stock into a couple of old men, and didn't win. Legends stuck to legend ways. Hey, that's okay. But it is funny that Shedeur beat both their teams. That's so sway. But Brian Daboll, yeah, we didn't forget that chapter, the private visit story, the one that turned into so much chatter. The hit piece fed to the media with pride. Then suddenly we watched Shedeur's draft stock slide, so it felt pretty good watching the Giants say bye-bye. All these coaches sat through the draft like Shedeur wasn't even there. Then the Browns forced Stefanski's hand and the sabotage began. We're all aware. Now Stefanski's media friends are trying to save him. Said he'd be hired by the top team in one day. We're still waiting on that, by the way. Turns out when you bet against Shedeur, you don't just miss the quarterback. You get sacked. So good luck, fellas, on the job search. The league is small. Shedeur will see you on the field, ready to ball.
I bust down my AP. Perfect timing. I better stop. Y'all know Shedeur will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I don't believe Cleveland's going to draft a quarterback in this draft. So Shedeur knows he's gonna get a full off season. He's gonna know he's QB1, and this is gonna be his prove it year, and this is gonna be his only prove it year. He proved it this, and see, Shedeur also knows if he bet on himself, this is the proven season, and he comes out successful, he can dictate contract talks. So it's very important for Shedeur to come out and have a great offseason and have a great regular season and potentially put the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. But it also hinges on who's going to be that head coach. And right now, you better hope it's Jim Shorts. If there's anybody that's outside that's coming in, if Andrew Berry is not, if Andrew Berry is going to make the emphasis and make it a principal point that the next head coach has to work with Shedeur, or he just let the next head coach come in. Hey, made it. You beat the quarterback, made the best one win. There's gonna be a problem. But I believe in Andrew Berry, and I believe that Andrew Berry is looking for a coach that's going to work and maximize and get the best out of Shedeur Sanders.
Don't mind us. We're just over here pouring out a little something for a few. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes losers can't help but be losers. Not because they want to lose, but because losing is all they've ever known. And that's what's happening with parts of Cleveland media and the Browns fan base right now. You got loser radio guys and reporters trying to destroy 12. Pushing the narrative that coaches don't want to work with him. Browns blogs taking non-stop digs at Shedeur because they're so used to their ceiling being the floor. Meanwhile, you're sitting on a quarterback who's the most Googled athlete and the third most Googled person on earth. The Browns could be the next America's team, but they keep stepping on the dream. His father helped turn the Cowboys into a household name, so that family knows a little something about the marketing game. Men and women crying, opening his jersey on Christmas. New fans of all ages and races proudly wearing Browns gear who never would have touched it. People don't just buy in on teams, they buy feelings. And Shedeur gives Cleveland fans those feelings they've been missing. But when you're used to losing, belief feels suspicious. So instead of leaning in, loser mentality creeps in. Now, they're upset. The Browns didn't lose the last 2 games on purpose to chase Dante Moore, a college player who didn't even think he was ready, so he decided to stay in college 1 year more. But losers can't see what's standing right in their face. Here's the way out. Stop looking for perfection, stop rooting for failure, stop thinking small, and trust in Shedeur to get out there and ball. That's how you leave losing behind. The only rebuild Cleveland needs is a new O-line, and maybe get A.J. Brown with Fannin in the receiver room and shine. So with a real coach and real preseason training, let Shedeur do his thing and bring y'all some glory days. Because honestly, what was so great about your losing ways? Hear me out real quick. The kid who managed to get Shedeur's number to prank call him during the 2025 NFL draft. His father worked for what team? The 4 people who drove to Cleveland to rob Shedeur's home. Where did they drive from? And what team just hired Kevin Stefanski after he mistreated Shedeur, after firing a black coach with a better record than Stefanski over the last 2 years? Yep. I'm not saying anything. I'm just noticing things. You see, patterns usually mean something. However, just like the Sanders family, we're going to be decent and send a congratulations to Stefanski for failing up. Oh, and shout out to Dylan Gabriel, we're sure you have a lot of first-team reps coming your way in Atlanta, because that many patterns don't happen by accident. Well, look what we got here. Baker Mayfield tweeting about Kevin Stefanski. He says, "Still waiting on a call after I got shipped out like garbage." That's the former #1 pick, franchise quarterback. And here's what's crazy about the Stefanski conversation. No matter what happens, it's never his fault. Baker gets labeled difficult. Odell gets labeled a problem. Deshaun gets labeled trash. But Stefanski, the media protects him. It's always the quarterbacks who failed. That's the old fairy tale. Why though? White, safe, white, and yeah, white. Funny how everybody gets the blame, but Kevin keeps the fame. Everybody around him fails, while his reputation still prevails. And the list of unimpressed former players keeps growing. Baker, Odell, Deshaun, Myles Garrett, Wyatt Teller, and now Shedeur. And that's why the Shedeur situation matters more than people admit. Because when they say, coaches don't want to work with him, his dad is difficult, his fans are the problem, that ain't random. That's the same media friends that awarded Stefanski Coach of the Year. Just remember, Baker said it, Odell lived it, Deshaun wore it, and Shedeur got dropped into it. Accountability can't be selective. If players keep failing in your system, eventually, the finger got to point at the man in charge. Same coach, new place, same story, different case. And just like Baker, we can't wait to see Shedeur shove a W in his damn face. A lot is being made in the anti-Shedeur media circles about top coaches canceling interviews with the Browns. And shocker, the narrative is it's because of Shedeur. Sure. Couldn't possibly be because they're, the Browns. But let's talk about something real. There's this rule in the NFL called the Rooney Rule, which means when a team hires a head coach, they have to interview at least one minority candidate. Imagine being so racist as a league that you had to create a rule to stop yourselves from being racist in a league where 70% of the talent is black. Sorry, I digress. So now Cleveland's in a funny spot. Nobody wants the job, but they still gotta follow the rules. And then it hit me. Y'all gotta do something cool. Deion Sanders has said on record, "I'm not coaching in the NFL unless I'm coaching my son." Hello, Cleveland. Let's have some fun. Success is standing right in your face, and you're acting like you can't see. Ratings, revenue, wins. Everywhere Deion and Shedeur go together, they turn programs around. And let me put this in your cranium. You just built a brand new stadium. You don't want to fill that thing with excuses and misuses. You want to fill it with fans. And we all know, Prime brings people to the stands. We're talking celebrities, jerseys, fun days, and sold-out Sundays. So Browns, if this is really about football and not fear, if this is really about winning and not spinning, do the funniest thing ever. Interview Deion Sanders, because either A, you satisfy the Rooney Rule, or B, you accidentally fix your franchise. And last I checked, his son is your only quarterback. So stop being scared of these fake Shedeur stories that pander, and start winning in every way possible with the Sanders.
Deion Sanders will only coach in NFL if it's Shedeur's team, Pac-Man Jones says. The idea of Deion Sanders returning to the NFL has hovered around the sport for years, resurfacing every time his name trends, every time an opening appears, every time his influence feels too big to be contained by the college game alone. But according to Adam Jones, better known as Pac-Man, there is one non-negotiable condition that would define whether Coach Prime ever makes that leap again. It wouldn't be about money, prestige, or market size. It would be about family. More specifically, it would be about his son. Speaking with TMZ Sports this week, Jones didn't hesitate when asked about Sanders and the ongoing NFL coaching carousel. He made it clear that while a pro return wouldn't shock him, the circumstances would have to be exact. Sanders, in Pac-Man's view, would never accept a job that put him on the opposite sideline from his son, Shedeur Sanders. Coaching against Shedeur, Jones said, would be a hard stop. Family first, always. That perspective reframes the entire conversation. There are 9 NFL head coaching openings this cycle, each with its own appeal, resources, and urgency. Yet Pac-Man narrowed the field down to essentially one possibility, pointing directly to the Cleveland Browns. The logic is simple. Cleveland is searching for a new head coach, and Shedeur finished his rookie season there by starting the final 7 games. If Sanders were ever to consider the NFL, Jones believes it would have to be in a situation where he isn't coaching against his son, but coaching with him. He's not going to go and coach against Shedeur, that's first and foremost, Jones said, emphasizing that Sanders still has unfinished business at Colorado after experiencing both the highs of national relevance and the lows of a 3-9 season that tested the program's resilience. That balance matters. Sanders isn't chasing an escape route. If he moves, it would have to align with something deeper than career ambition. The Browns scenario, then, becomes less of a rumor and more of a hypothetical crossroads. Shedeur's late season starts gave Cleveland a glimpse of his potential and set the stage for a pivotal offseason. Pairing a rookie quarterback with a first-time NFL head coach who also happens to be his father would be unprecedented, bold, and polarizing. But bold has never scared Deion Sanders. If anything, his career has been defined by moments others said shouldn't or couldn't happen. Pac-Man took the idea a step further, framing it as something the sport has never seen. Sanders coaching his son at Jackson State, then at Colorado, and potentially one day in the NFL. A father guiding his child through every level of the game, from FCS to Power 5 to the professional stage. That would be one of one, Jones said, shaking his head at the magnitude of the possibility. Legendary was the word that lingered. Yet even in that dream scenario, restraint remains part of the equation. Sanders has consistently said he wants to finish what he started in Boulder. The rebuild, the culture shift, the constant churn of the portal era. None of it suggests a man itching to leave at the first pro opportunity. If anything, his recent comments have reflected patience and focus, an understanding that legacy is built by completion, not abandonment. The NFL will always call. Sanders' charisma, leadership, and ability to command a locker room translate naturally to the professional game. Teams know that. Analysts know that. Fans know that. But Pac-Man's insight adds a layer that often gets overlooked in hot take discussions. For Sanders, coaching isn't just a job. It's personal. It's relational. It's generational. That's why the idea of him taking just any NFL job never fully makes sense. Coaching against his son would cut against everything Sanders has shown the world about who he is and what he values. If he ever returns to the league, it won't be as a hired gun chasing relevance. It will be as a father, a mentor, and a figure intent on shaping history in a way that mirrors his own journey through the sport. For now, it remains hypothetical. A fascinating one, but hypothetical nonetheless. Sanders is still in college football. Shedeur is still finding his footing in the NFL. Cleveland is still searching. But if the stars ever align, if opportunity and family converge at the same moment, the result wouldn't just be another coaching hire. It would be a chapter unlike anything football has ever written. And if Pac-Man Jones is right, that's the only way Deion Sanders would ever want it. What makes Pac-Man Jones' comments linger isn't just the speculation itself. but how neatly they align with everything Deion Sanders has shown over the last several years. The football world often talks about Sanders as a brand, a motivator, a lightning rod, but at the center of every major decision he's made since returning to coaching has been a consistent through line: control of narrative, protection of family, and an obsession with legacy that goes far beyond wins and losses. The idea that he would refuse to coach against his own son doesn't feel like conjecture. It feels like confirmation. Sanders has never compartmentalized football and family. At Jackson State Tigers, he didn't just bring Shedeur Sanders with him. He built an offense around him, entrusted him with leadership, and put him on a national stage that changed both of their trajectories. When Sanders moved to Colorado Buffaloes, the pattern repeated. That wasn't coincidence. It was intent. Every stop has been about creating an ecosystem where his son could grow without compromise, without divided loyalty, and without artificial barriers. That context is why the NFL conversation has always felt different with Sanders than with other college coaches. When someone like Marcus Freeman or Lincoln Riley is linked to pro jobs, the discussion centers on scheme, salary, and organizational fit. With Sanders, the conversation immediately shifts toward alignment. Who is the quarterback? Who controls personnel? Who sets culture? And now, according to Pac-Man Jones, the most important question of all: where does Shedeur fit into it? The Cleveland Browns hypothetical stands out precisely because it checks boxes most NFL jobs cannot. Shedeur already has a foothold there after starting the final 7 games of his rookie season. The franchise is at an inflection point, searching not just for a head coach, but for direction after years of instability. Pairing a young quarterback with a coach who commands instant respect would normally be risky. Pairing him with his father would be unprecedented. But unprecedented has never scared Sanders. If anything, it's where he's most comfortable. Still, there's a reason this remains theoretical. Sanders is acutely aware of how fragile credibility can be at the professional level. Coaching your son in the NFL wouldn't just invite scrutiny. It would amplify it. Every play call, every benching, every fourth down decision would be filtered through accusations of bias or favoritism. Sanders knows that. He's lived under a microscope his entire life. If he ever makes that leap, it would only be because he believes the alignment is so strong that the noise becomes irrelevant. Pac-Man's remarks also reinforce why Sanders hasn't rushed toward the league despite constant speculation. He's not chasing validation. He's already achieved it at multiple levels of football. What remains is legacy crafting. Coaching at Jackson State was about opening doors. Colorado has been about proving sustainability in chaos. The NFL, if it ever happens, would be about culmination, not reinvention. That's why the notion of Sanders taking just any open job feels hollow. Coaching against Shedeur would fracture the very foundation of how Sanders operates. It would turn football into a zero-sum emotional conflict, something he has spent years avoiding by keeping his vision unified. For him, success has always been collective. If his son wins, the mission advances. If his team wins, the platform grows. Splitting those loyalties would undermine the clarity he's worked so hard to preserve. For now, Sanders remains firmly planted in college football, dealing with roster churn, recruiting battles, and the grind of rebuilding in public. Shedeur, meanwhile, is carving out his own identity at the professional level, no longer just Deion's son, but an NFL quarterback learning the speed and brutality of the league. Their paths may never intersect again on the sideline. That outcome wouldn't diminish either of them. But if they ever do, it won't be accidental. It won't be opportunistic. It will be deliberate, calculated, and rooted in a belief that football at its highest level can still be personal. Pac-Man Jones didn't just float a rumor. He articulated a truth about Deion Sanders that the sport has seen play out repeatedly. If the story doesn't honor family, he's not interested. And if it ever does happen, it won't just be another coaching hire. It will be history written on his terms.
Shedeur Sanders, we trust. Perfect timing. You see it? That's all it is. We'll see when the start of the season. Will Shedeur be the starting quarterback? We'll find out when we get there. Well, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Make sure you go to my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. All helps my channel grow, get more viewers, more followers, more subscribers. Make sure you tap into that cash app. $SRED40. Continue to support the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. I'm out. Peace.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right to the knee.
It's Dean Miller.
Oh, and he is going right